The morning of September 11th, 2001 dawned clear and bright across the United States. It was a day like any other, filled with the routines of daily life. Yet by day's end, this date would be seared into the collective memory of the nation, forever synonymous with tragedy, loss, and a profound sense of vulnerability. The horrific events of 9/11, as it came to be known, would reshape the world order, leaving an indelible mark on global politics, security measures, and the very fabric of American society. This was not merely an attack on American soil, it was an assault on the ideals of freedom and democracy that the United States has long represented on the world stage. The day began with the mundane and descended into chaos, a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the ever-present threat of extremism. As smoke billowed from the iconic Twin Towers in New York City and the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., a nation watched in horror. The images of those attacks, etched into our minds through endless replays on television screens, became symbols of a new era, one defined by the global fight against terrorism. The world held its breath, united in grief and disbelief as the full scope of the tragedy unfolded. 9/11 was not just an American tragedy, it was a global wake-up call, a stark reminder that the forces of hatred and extremism respect no borders and threaten the very foundation of our interconnected world. The meticulously planned attacks of 9/11 were carried out using 4 hijacked commercial airliners, each transformed into a deadly missile aimed at the heart of America. The targets were carefully chosen, representing symbols of American economic, military, and political power. American Airlines Flight 11, en route from Boston to Los Angeles, was the first to strike. At 8:46 a.m. Eastern Time, the Boeing 767 crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center in New York City. The impact between the 93rd and 99th floors sent shockwaves through the city and beyond. Less than 20 minutes later, at 9:03 a.m., United Airlines Flight 175, also departing from Boston and bound for Los Angeles, struck the South Tower of the World Trade Center. This time, the impact occurred between the 77th and 85th floors, igniting a raging inferno. At 9:37 a.m., American Airlines Flight 77, which had taken off from Washington Dulles International Airport and was headed for Los Angeles, crashed into the western side of the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. The impact, which occurred on the ground floor, caused a partial collapse and sparked a massive fire. The fourth and final plane involved in the attacks was United Airlines Flight 93, which departed from Newark International Airport en route to San Francisco. At 10:03 a.m., after a delay of over 40 minutes and a struggle between the hijackers and passengers, the plane crashed into a field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. To comprehend the calculated brutality of 9/11, one must delve into the twisted ideology and motivations of Al-Qaeda, the terrorist organization that claimed responsibility for the attacks. Founded by Osama bin Laden, a wealthy Saudi Arabian exile, Al-Qaeda emerged in the late 1980s amidst the chaos of the Soviet-Afghan War. Fueled by a virulent strain of Islamic extremism, Al-Qaeda harbored a deep-seated hatred for the United States and its allies in the West. Bin Laden and his followers viewed the US as an imperialist force, meddling in the affairs of Muslim-majority countries and propping up corrupt regimes. The presence of American troops in Saudi Arabia, home to Islam's holiest sites following the Gulf War, was a particular point of contention for bin Laden. He saw it as a desecration of sacred ground and a symbol of American hegemony in the region. Furthermore, Al-Qaeda vehemently opposed US support for Israel, which it considered an illegitimate state. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict, with its long history of violence and injustice, served as a rallying cry for Al-Qaeda, fueling its anti-Western sentiment and its desire to provoke a global confrontation. In bin Laden's eyes, the 9/11 attacks were not just acts of terror, They were a declaration of war against the West, a desperate attempt to awaken the Muslim world and ignite a global jihad. He believed that by striking at the heart of America, he could expose its vulnerability, shake its foundations, and ultimately force it to withdraw its influence from the Middle East. The horrific events of 9/11 were the result of years of meticulous planning by Al-Qaeda operatives. The operation involved a complex web of individuals, safe houses, and training camps across various countries. Planning began as early as 1996 after bin Laden's fatwa calling for attacks against US targets. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed is regarded as the principal architect of the 9/11 plot. Under Mohammed's direction, Al-Qaeda recruited individuals for suicide missions. Recruits underwent rigorous ideological indoctrination and physical training. A key aspect involved training hijackers in basic flying skills. Several hijackers received flight training in the United States, exploiting visa and security loopholes. Al-Qaeda financed the operation through donors, charities, and front companies. The money was funneled through a complex web of bank accounts and informal financial networks. The meticulous planning and coordination were a testament to Al-Qaeda's organizational prowess. The attacks exposed vulnerabilities in Western intelligence, border security, and aviation safety protocols. In the wake of the September 11th attacks, the United States found itself at a pivotal moment in history. The events of that day not only shattered the sense of security, but also ignited a fierce resolve to combat terrorism on a global scale. The phrase "war on terror" became a defining term in the early 21st century as the US and its allies embarked on a mission to dismantle terrorist networks and prevent future attacks. This new era saw significant changes in national security policies, international relations, and military strategies. The immediate response included the implementation of the Patriot Act, which expanded surveillance capabilities and aimed to thwart potential threats. Meanwhile, the US military launched Operation Enduring Freedom, targeting Al-Qaeda strongholds in Afghanistan. As the war on terror unfolded, it brought about both successes and controversies. The relentless pursuit of terrorist leaders led to the capture or elimination of several high-profile figures. However, the conflict also raised questions about civil liberties, human rights, and the long-term impact on global stability. The legacy of the war on terror continues to shape our world today, influencing policies, security measures, and international relations. It serves as a reminder of the profound and lasting effects of September 11th and the ongoing efforts to ensure such a tragedy never happens again. The events of September 11th, 2001 left an indelible mark on the world. The attacks reshaped global politics, security measures, and the way we perceive threats. Even today, the legacy of that fateful day continues to influence our lives, our policies, and our collective memory. In the aftermath of 9/11, the internet became a critical tool in the search for truth. Google and other search engines played a pivotal role in disseminating information, debunking myths, and providing a platform for voices from around the globe. This quest for truth has only intensified in the digital age as we continue to seek understanding and clarity. The masterminds behind the attacks were pursued relentlessly, leading to significant changes in global leadership and international relations. The response to 9/11 saw a new era of political decisions and military actions, influencing the policies of presidents and leaders worldwide. This period marked a turning point in how nations collaborate and confront shared threats. Memorials across the world stand as solemn reminders of the lives lost on September 11th. These spaces offer a place for reflection, mourning, and dialogue. The ongoing conversation about 9/11 ensures that we remember the past while striving for a more secure and united future. The dialogue continues as we honor the memory of those we lost and work towards a better tomorrow.